Hey guys, TerrorPUP here, and today I'm going to explain how I got TrueNAS working under Proxmox and doing my physical uh, bypass. I know this is probably nothing special to a lot of people, but for me it was a big win because the server that I showed you guys, and the link is above, it's a Supermicro machine that is probably the most powerful in my environment because one, just to kind of show you real quick, we'll go to summary, not notes, summary. It has 16 cores. Now I know to some home labbers that's not a lot, but when you get a lot of your equipment for free, you take what you can get. So 16 cores, 2.4 gigahertz. That's not bad. I can do a lot with that. And the fact that I was able to bump up this machine to, okay, 70 gigabytes of memory. So, if you've dealt with Supermicro, you know that they tend to have very strange requirements for their memory. It's, ECC, error correcting, and voltage. So it was a little bit disheartening. And originally, this server was a TrueNAS server. Okay, and I could have went the reverse direction and set up, a whole bunch of verts on TrueNAS, but I preferred Proxmox virtualization. Actually, I prefer libvirtd, but because they never really had a decent GUI like Proxmox, you do a lot of stuff on the command line. But anyway, that's neither here or there. So I wanted to get this set up so that I could use it and utilize the disk. Okay, so the first thing I did was, okay, I uploaded after I built out Proxmox and got it all set up. I did not set up my hard drives. We'll go over that in a minute. But the first thing I did was I went ahead and uploaded the latest and greatest, okay, TrueNAS ISO, which is TrueNAS Scale 24. Now, there's a difference between TrueNAS Core and TrueNAS Scale. TrueNAS Scale is based on Linux. TrueNAS Core is based on FreeBSD. I like both, but I wanted to give TrueNAS Scale a shot. For years, going on about 14 years now, I have been running TrueNAS Core. One of the servers that helped build out this server was a server that we bought from the TrueNAS people, XI Systems, and it ran for years, and I thought it had a ROM chip, couldn't find out it's USB. I've talked about that in the past. So anyway, I got that set up. So then the next thing I did was I came over and I set up my first pool of drives. Now I took, because this is a 12 slot server and each of the drives are 2 terabytes, I went ahead, and probably not the best thing in the world, I went ahead and set up Stripe because actually no, this is rated because it's only 10 terabytes. But anyway, I went ahead and set it up using everything on the left, 0 through 5, to be for my Proxmox server so that I can go ahead and use that, okay, for storage. And it's worked out pretty good. And I have not a lot of disks, but a number of them. I have one of my volumes over here running, okay, and then it's pretty much the same. If we came up to data center and we went down to storage, you will see there is my, okay, there is the one that I set up, okay? And it's working pretty good. And this was made, if you were using drive letters, okay, A through A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, because it's 1 through 6. And, you know, it's working pretty good. Now, with that, what I wanted to do next, and this is where I'm actually going to give you guys a demonstration, okay? So, I want to set up the virtualization, okay, for my NAS drive to have, okay, drives G through L, okay? And to do that, you know, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I went ahead and set it up, and this kind of give you a quick overview. I went ahead and set it up for 24 gigs of memory because this is only going to be doing TrueNAS. I might try to do a little virtualization up underneath it, but for now, I just decided we'll go ahead and do that. We're using the processors, and I'm using the host processors because let me show you guys something. This was an error that I ran into. Okay, initially for some reason it keeps defaulting to this x64 v2 AES. Okay, now AES is an encryption type. If you're doing FIPS and things like that, it is awesome and helps you out, and it's not bad. But I don't do that. Oh, the other thing is, because 16 cores, I went ahead and said that we got 2 sockets in my TrueNAS with 4 cores. I don't need any more than that. But anyway, but it was doing this, and when I was trying to set up the server, I kept getting errors. Went online and read that pretty much, okay, I needed to change that. So one of the options was the host CPUs, and I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, okay? So hopefully, let me go back into this, because if not, yeah, good, we're still host. Oh, it says it there too. So I got it up and running, and it's working, and I could have used UTFS, but because I just wanted to get this up and running and make sure that I could do what I wanted to do, alright, I went ahead and said, you know, we'll do that. And I got it up and running. It was pretty good. So the next thing I needed to do was I needed to get those other 6 drives, okay, and I needed to attach them. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Here you can see that I have the virtual OS is there, okay, and then here are the 6 hard drives. And if you notice that, yes, it does give a SCSI ID, and then the other ones, well, hold on, back up a step. This shows that it's locally on the storage on my SSD card or drive that we set up. That's here, okay, and you know, not a problem. And if we click over here, you'll see I have a number of disks because you know we got a bit of disk space over there, and I'm not really using up a lot, so we're good. Okay, and but anyway, okay, we'll come back over here now to our TrueNAS, and you know I want to use those drives. Now, if you're wondering why the numbers are different, when I was having the issues with the processor, I went ahead and set up the a Docker container just to see if I could get it up and running. The Docker containers don't really use a virtualized kernel. Okay, a virtualized CPU, sorry, a virtualized CPU, not kernels, virtualized CPU. And, you know, I got it up and running, so I was like, what is going on? So then, okay, I deleted it, the one container I got up, and then I set up a Debian image, and that's when I found out host work, and we went ahead and set up TrueNAS. So anyway, so now I needed to get these passed through. So I found this article, and I'll put it in the description, and Proxmox site showed how to pass through virtual disk, or sorry, physical disk to a virtual machine. Now, if you watch other content creators, there are a ton of them that will put in a graphics card into a machine like this so that they can set up virtual gaming servers for themselves and their kids. And, you know, I was like, cool. I really want to do something, but with the hard drives. And I found a forum that led me to this page. And it goes through and it talks about, you know, you have to install list hardware so that way you could find it. And this is the command to show it. And then what they should have just done, but I guess they want you to understand the process, is if you go under dev, this is where all your devices are going to be. So if you go here and then disk by ID, you will find, and they're always listed by items, or sorry, by the hard drives. And here, let's take a screenshot real quick of what I'm talking about. Alright, because I knew A through F were being used by Proxmox, I went ahead and used grep, okay, after changing to the directory. So if you see right now, I am in the directory, okay, and this is a screenshot when I was setting it up so that you guys can see it. That's why the dates are a little bit from the past. But anyway, I went ahead and did a list, okay, and I grep by SD, which is, you know, our SATA drives, G through L, okay, and I got the device number that I needed, well, the device ID. And this is going to be very important because the next thing I wanted to do was add it to the device. Now, the ID down here is not the not what I'm currently running, because again, remember when I first went through to set this up, I didn't realize that CPU with the ES was going to cause issues. And guys, I apologize if I pause. It's I'm a diabetic, as I told you guys, and occasionally metformin makes me want to belch, and I'm trying not to do that. So I pause because I'm trying to keep it down. But anyway, so yeah, I went ahead and I ran QM and to set 100 and to create the SCSI, okay, and I could have called it 1, but you know, in case I wanted to go add another hard drive later on, I didn't do that. And I took the ID that's up here, okay, and I added it. And just to verify that it was all the way through, I went ahead and just did a quick grep on my server. So this was, I already had all the hard drives in that original one, but like I said, I had to rebuild it. So, alright, let's take a look at the next screenshot. Okay, so as you can see here, I got really excited because it was showing up, and I went ahead and added the next ones. Now, the first command, again, is to create the device, and the second one is to go ahead and to update it. So I had all 6 devices added to my host. All right, and again, being cautious that I am, I wanted to make sure before the images was boot up, okay, the guest was boot up, I just did a real quick cat of the configuration, and all right, and I could see all my drives there, and I was really super excited because this meant I was on the path to succeed. And I just want to highlight previous picture. It shows it. Okay, we know they're there, but yes, there are my 6 devices, and yes, they are the 6 terabyte drives that I have added. And again, I just want to show real quick that the difference that yes, there's my image for my TrueNAS hard disk where the OS is, and you know, again, super excited because it was working. All right, so I got everything set up, and you know, this was again super exciting for me. So let's go ahead and log into TrueNAS. And long time ago it was root, and in earlier versions of TrueNAS scale it was admin. Now it's TrueNAS underscore admin. And no offense, TrueNAS, you need to pick one and stay with it, because people like me who've been using it for a long time, it's downright frustrating that you don't realize that the field where it says TrueNAS admin is the account, because you're thinking, oh, it's going to be admin or root or something like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, so let's log in. Okay. And I've modified my dashboard to be a little bit more friendly. I took off the annoying license fee because as a home labber, I don't have money to purchase it. When we had the full version, it was not bad. The support was actually good, and you know, it was great. But I just wanted something I can see. Now, all right, so let's go to storage. Okay, so went ahead and set up my storage. Okay, and as you can see, I'm using RAID 6, or sorry, not RAID 6, RAID Z. So I have one drive as a potential, you know, hot swap, and then my other drives, okay, are there to be used. Okay, and that's why it's not. Now, I could have done Stripe, but it's not really healthy, and you know, I am planning to use this long term. Now, down the road, since I now know this is working, you know, my buddy Keo keeps telling me I should go buy 20 terabyte hard drives, and that's tempting. I might do that later on and replace these 6 2 terabytes with those and have a real nice storage. But for right now, for my home lab, this is going to work great, because I do have another TrueNAS that is another Supermicro that has 18 terabytes on it. So again, that's kind of why I rebuilt this machine. I could have had 2 NASs with, you know, each one having close to 20 terabytes, 40 terabytes, but it was a little bit overkill. Okay, and right now there's really not much on it, as you can see. Okay, not much on it. Okay, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're all set up, and we're good. Okay, so it's up, it's running, it's looking great. Now, let's take this one step further. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to add another 8, well actually it's going to be 6 terabytes to this drive because we're going to create another Z1. So if you've seen my videos, you know I have this device I call Frankenstein's. Okay, actually, to be true, it's Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein was the doctor, the monster is what he created. But anyway, we're going to go in there and we're going to create, okay, new drives. Now, for me to do this successfully, I need to first go ahead and shut down my TrueNAS. You can't do this hot, okay? And I'm not going to take pictures of Frankenstein's monster, but it is sitting in a rack that I bought from Micro Center years ago for housing hard drives, and I used to use USB to SATA plugins and even IDE to put hard drives in there. So back in my early days when I was running Plex and I was ripping my movies, I had them on there. The only problem with USB devices is it's not reliable. Okay, so in my server I have an LIS card that has 2 ports on the back where I have the plug-in, okay, going from it to the drives, okay, and this cable has 4 SATA ports. That's plenty, because the rack only actually technically it can hold 6 discs, but because of heat I only put 4 in there, okay. And also, let's be honest, this thing is about 13 years old, and I've lost screws over the years, and it makes it hard to put hard drives in there. But anyway, 4 is a good number. Alright guys, we're ready to add the drives to there. So we're going to go over to Proxmox, we're going to log into our server, and we're going to go to the shell. And then we're going to go to, okay, and as you guys can see, there's all of our drives. Okay, and there, I don't know why they put A there, but there's our 4 new drives. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and add those here in just a second. Okay, so we're going to do a clear, and we're going to do a grep by ATA. Grep ATA. Okay, cool. So now the command is real simple. Okay, we're going to use qset. All right, and we're going to do -scuzzy. And since we know 7 was the last